Dual threat quarterbacks. So hot right now. And you look at the Lamar Jackson reigning MVP of the world, as well as you don't have to look any further than the Vikings in the wild card round, just getting their ass cooked by one Taysom Hill. And the Vikings should frankly start enriching a secret weapon of their own. Enter recently cut Khalil Tate, formerly of the Philadelphia Eagles, from the University of Arizona. Let's talk about him today. So, background: Khalil Tate, 21 years old, turns 22 in October, 6'2", 208. I may have just lied about that. I don't know. Former four-star recruit from Junipero Serra High School in L.A., took his talents to Arizona under coach Rich Rodriguez. Now, Rich Rod was an early adopter of the dual threat quarterback, right? Just running that zone scheme, running that read option. You look at Pat White, West Virginia. You look at Tate Forcier and Denard Robinson in Michigan, right? So Rich Rod, going back, was it Glenville State? Might have been, but I think it's a good place for Khalil Tate to take his talents. Broke out in 2017, the final year under Rich Rod, 1,591 yards passing, 14 touchdowns, but also 1,411 yards rushing and 12 touchdowns. True blue dual threat quarterback. And then Rich Rod got fired because I don't know, some bad things went down, but he got fired. And Khalil Tate was hyped up as a Heisman Trophy candidate, and for good reason. I mean, if he was able to build on that amazing sophomore year, 2017, I mean, he easily could throw his hat in the Heisman ring under new head coach Kevin Sumlin. By the way, Kevin Sumlin, he ain't no slouch either. So remember Kevin Sumlin, him and Johnny Manziel, Texas A&M, as well as Kevin Sumlin. Oh, he was the head coach at Houston when Case Keenum was throwing for like a bajillion yards. I think Cliff Kingsbury was on staff there as well. So you're like, all right, here we go. Khalil Tate, Kevin Sumlin, let's go. But then, well, he did have a better season as a passer, 2,530 yards passing, 26 touchdowns, 8 picks. But the Wildcats went 5-6, and then he followed up with a pretty meh 2019 season as well. Getting to the NFL draft prep, wasn't invited to the Senior Bowl or the Combine, and also didn't have a pro day because of the Rona. Now, Tate has said that he ran a 4.6 40 back in the day, but I actually think that he's being modest there. I mean, probably guesstimate him if he did train up for it like a lot of these players do. Probably would have ran in the 4.5-ish range, which, you know, is slightly below average speed for a wide receiver, but way above average for a quarterback. Now, he does have a live arm, respect. Accuracy, not so much. So I'm under no illusion that he's going to be an NFL starter or even a capable NFL backup. But what he can be is that dual multi-purpose threat, which is starting to be in vogue in the league. And also, he's just a really smooth runner as well, a little bit of a glider, a little bit upright. And he really is dynamic with the football in his hands. Not sure why during the Sumlin reign they just really started reducing the amount of quarterback runs that he had. So I don't know if Sumlin was just trying to make him fit into his more air raid-esque system as opposed to a dual threat quarterback system. But when undrafted, Eagles picked him up as a wide receiver, but with this weird-ass offseason, no rookie camp, no OTAs, no this, no that, they decided to cut ties with him on the eve of training camp because simply they ain't going to have time. Even though the Eagles' wide receiver room, besides Jalen Reagor and the corpse of Alshon Jeffrey, pretty trash, right? And also, they do have a former converted college quarterback in Greg Ward Jr. Out of Houston on the roster as well. So they're like, we don't need two. All right. And with the shortened offseason, like we said, they decided that the juice just wasn't worth the squeeze. So here's where the Vikings should swoop in. So obviously could still use some depth at wide receiver. We'll see what happens at the bottom end of that roster as the cream starts to separate itself. And we've talked about that with this just one-off, completely weird off-season, and with quarterbacks being at such a premium, you should have as many dudes on the roster who are capable of throwing a football because you don't know. Like you just don't know. Like, you'll watch a team, like their quarterback room will get a COVID outbreak, and then they're all up on blocks for a minimum of 3 weeks. So it's like, oh, what do you do then? All right. So I think that the teams should have as many quarterbacks as possible in their sphere, and you can count Khalil Tate as a quarterback while you're working on him as a wide receiver. And also, like we mentioned at the beginning, like Zimmer saw firsthand how a screwball like Taysom Hill can affect a defense, as well as remember that old clip of him from Cincinnati, the one that made us fall in love with him when he became the Vikings head coach. He was like, "I told you this quarterback runs. You better get your mind right, or I'll get it right for you." Now that was from a preseason game against a running quarterback. So him like chewing out the third and fourth teamers. Yeah, so he knows the value of a running quarterback. Taysom Hill was the Saints' offense that game. I mean, the Vikings were very good shutting down Michael Thomas as well as the corpse of Drew Brees. And it really is the same concept that the Dolphins played with Ronnie Brown back in the day, R.I.P. Tony Sperano. It's you make the defense play 11 on 11 when the quarterback is a threat to run instead of 11 on 10 in most situations. And the defense has to be uber disciplined in their responsibilities, or you're going to get torched. And I think that they could turn Khalil Tate into Joe Webb 2.0. Now, they did a big disservice to Joe Webb where they went back and forth. We're like, oh, he's a quarterback today. Now he's a wide receiver. Now he's a quarterback. It's like snip, snap, snip, snap. No, if they would have picked, hey, you're a quarterback, or hey, you're a wide receiver, I think it would have done him a lot better. Now, what we're asking for the Vikings to do is to do the opposite of what we suggested with Joe Webb. But if Khalil Tate can make it in, maybe on the practice squad as a potential wide receiver, but then throw in a couple plays here and there, just a little wrinkle of Khalil Tate, just maybe a play every other week, just to make the opposing defense coordinator just stay up a little bit more on game plan night. We're just like, what if they give it to Khalil Tate? Plus, he wore 14 in college, so he can wear 14 now. Blazer! Replacing Diggs, as well as that was Joe Webb's number back in the day, if you don't remember. But I don't know. I think it would make a lot of sense. Obviously, would cost league minimum. Obviously, no muss, no fuss. Plus, you have 3 open roster spots right now. But it's just something that this offense does not have, because Kirky, Mannion, Browning, and definitely not Nate Stanley are not going to threaten you with their legs unless they have an opportunity to kick you in the face. But other than that, nah. All right, but your thoughts? Vikings need their own Taysom Hill. Get Khalil Tate. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. You want to support the work? Pull us on the Venmo. Plus, give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skull Production Value.